Hi, everyone. My name is Lorena, and I am the founder of Infinita Wellness. And I'm really excited to talk to you about today's topic. As a certified health coach specializing in thyroid health, hormone balance, weight management, and GI health, I've really dedicated my career to helping individuals achieve optimal well-being and really reaching for their infinite potential. At Infinita Wellness, we believe in empowering you to become the best version of yourself, both mentally and physically. And in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is through education. And so I really want to shed light on a really important topic today, which is the thyroid gland. I think it's really important to be your number one health advocate. So when you really know all the intricacies of your body, you're really able to advocate for yourself when you go into your doctor's office and ask the proper questions and make sure you're getting the proper testing. So I'm sure you've probably heard the word thyroid tossed around quite a bit, but do you truly know what it is, what it does, or where it's located in your body? And for a lot of people, that answer is no. And your thyroid is responsible for so many different functions within your body that I really want to educate you on all of the crucial functions that your thyroid plays within your body. So let's start. What is the thyroid? So your thyroid is a gland, and it's a small butterfly-shaped gland that's located at the base of your neck, just below the Adam's apple, okay? It consists of two lobes that are connected by this narrow band of tissue called the isthmus, and it's situated right in front of your trachea, which is also known as the windpipe, and just below your voice box or the larynx. So its positioning actually makes it really easy for your physician to palpate in your neck, so they can check for any size abnormality or any nodules present. And if for whatever reason they do notice some enlargement or any nodules, they may send you for a thyroid ultrasound. Another reason why your physician might send you in for a thyroid ultrasound is if you have thyroid antibodies present in your bloodstream. And that way, again, they can check for any abnormalities within the actual gland. And so, despite the small size of your thyroid gland, it plays such an important role in so many different bodily functions within your body, including your hormone production, your metabolism, your growth and development, regulating your body temperature, your cardiovascular function, cholesterol regulation, your mood and mental function, and your immune function. So I'm going to hit on all of these topics briefly, and then in future videos, I'll kind of go into more detail, or if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, or feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. So let's start with hormone production. Your thyroid gland produces a few hormones, but the main hormones that your thyroid gland produces are T4 and T3. And these hormones are synthesized from an amino acid known as tyrosine and iodine, which is primarily obtained from your diet. The majority of your hormones produced in the thyroid gland are in the form of T4, with only a small fraction being T3. And T3 is actually the active form of your thyroid hormone. And T4 naturally will be converted to T3. And there are certain things that are essential within that conversion, which I will go into further detail, but some of them are certain nutrients like iodine. Another one is iron. So sometimes if someone doesn't have sufficient T3 levels, by checking their iodine levels or their iron levels, if those levels are low and you're able to replete those levels, you will see that naturally the T3 function will improve. So T3 is more potent than T4, and it's responsible for the majority of the activity within the body. So it's important for your physician to run a little bit more intricate blood work to really see what's going on. Do you have sufficient active thyroid hormone? Because if you don't, your other levels may be normal, but if your T3 levels aren't optimal, you may still be having symptoms. Something else that your thyroid is responsible for is regulating your metabolism. And the term metabolism is thrown around a lot. We talk about how to increase your metabolism or having a fast or slow metabolism. But what is the definition? It is the process by which your body converts food into energy. And thyroid hormones play a really key role in the process that influences the rate at which your cells utilize oxygen and produce heat. So your thyroid hormones increase your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of energy expended by the body at rest. Ruby decided to join this video, so don't mind her cuteness. So getting back to metabolism, your thyroid hormones really play an important role in your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of energy that's expended by the body at rest. So consequently, individuals who have an overactive thyroid, known as hyperthyroidism, which means too many thyroid hormones within the bloodstream, they may experience symptoms: weight loss, diarrhea, increased appetite, tachycardia, heat intolerance, sweating. Whereas someone with an underactive thyroid, not enough thyroid hormone, known as hypothyroidism, may experience symptoms such as weight gain, fatigue, cold intolerance, constipation, and that's due to a decreased metabolic rate. Now, sometimes the symptoms don't match the disease. So you can see someone with uncontrolled hypothyroidism who is extremely thin. But these are the textbook symptoms of hypo and hyperthyroidism. They do share some symptoms in common, and hair loss is a really common one with any sort of thyroid dysfunction too, just to be aware of that. Now, another area that your thyroid plays a really crucial role is in the normal growth and development, especially in fetal development and in childhood. Thyroid hormones promote the development of the brain and the nervous system, as well as growth and maturation of bones and muscles. So having inadequate thyroid hormone levels, especially during early development, can lead to stunted growth and cognitive impairment. So it's really important to look for those symptoms in your children or in early childhood. And if you are seeing those symptoms, it's really easy to just get a quick blood test just to make sure that their thyroid function is adequate. And in adults, thyroid hormones also play a really important role in maintaining body density and muscle mass. So it's something that you should always be checking, because eventually, if it's uncontrolled, it can lead to diseases like osteopenia or osteoporosis. Now, your thyroid function in the regulation of your body temperature is also really important, because it does influence your body's heat production, helping to regulate your body temperature. So it does this by affecting the activity of enzymes that are involved in cellular metabolism, which in turn affects these thermoregulatory mechanisms such as sweating and shivering, to help maintain a stable internal body temperature. So in the case of hyperthyroidism, you see increased sweating because your body is really trying to regulate your body temperature. Now, when it comes to cardiovascular function, your thyroid plays a really, really important role. Thyroid hormones will increase your heart rate and cardiac output, leading to enhanced blood flow to tissues and organs. They also affect the contractility of the heart muscle, helping to maintain adequate circulation throughout the body. So abnormalities in thyroid function can lead to cardiovascular symptoms such as palpitations, irregular heartbeat, and hypertension. So that's why it's also a Goldilocks principle when it comes to thyroid hormones. You don't want to have too much floating in your bloodstream, and you don't want to have too little. A lot of times people will say, well, hyperthyroidism, you lose weight, so it's not that bad. It can actually be more dangerous than having hypothyroidism, especially when it comes to cardiovascular function. So it's really, you want to have balanced normal levels within your body. And sometimes that can be done through diet or lifestyle modification alone, and other times medication intervention is necessary. Okay, so now let's get into mood and mental function, because this is also a really big one. Your thyroid hormones affect neurotransmitter synthesis and signaling within the brain, which influences your cognitive function, your mood, and your emotional well-being. So imbalances in thyroid hormones have been associated with mood disorders such as depression and anxiety, cognitive impairment, and memory problems. So sometimes when someone is having anxiety, like I mentioned in hyperthyroidism, it could increase your heart rate, known as tachycardia, and that could cause symptoms of anxiety. So before someone is diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, it's really important that your physician is running different blood tests to see if your thyroid is functioning normally, if your parathyroid is functioning normally, because too much or too little of certain hormones can cause symptoms of depression and anxiety. All right, let's get into reproductive function. Thyroid hormones impact reproductive function in both men and in women. They're essential for normal ovarian and testicular function, including the production of sex hormones such as estrogen and testosterone. Your thyroid is involved in what's called the HPA axis, which I will get into in another video, and it plays a really direct role with your sex organs. So if someone is having symptoms of irregular menstrual cycles, fertility issues, low libido, erectile dysfunction, want to check your thyroid because it could be directly impacting those symptoms. And once you regulate the thyroid, if that's the case, then those symptoms may go away or they may not. So you're really trying to get down to the root cause. And by addressing the root cause, some symptoms will get better, but there may, healing is kind of like peeling back the layers of an onion. So hopefully, once you get to the root cause, your symptoms do go away. But if they don't, you just want to make sure you're doing proper testing to really find out what's going on. Now, when it comes to cholesterol levels, I see this a lot where someone will come in with slightly elevated cholesterol levels. And when you look at their thyroid is either underactive or a little sluggish, meaning it's not functioning at its optimal best. And I'll define what an optimal thyroid looks like in a later video. But thyroid hormones actually help regulate your lipid metabolism, including the synthesis, the breakdown, and the clearance of cholesterol and triglycerides from your bloodstream. So having adequate thyroid hormone levels is necessary for maintaining optimal lipid profiles and hopefully preventing the development of atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. So sometimes if someone comes in with elevated cholesterol levels and hypothyroidism, once you address their thyroid function and regulate it, you'll notice that their cholesterol levels start to actually normalize. So another reason why you want to get to the root cause, because sometimes someone will go into their doctor, they'll have high cholesterol, their doctor will put them on a statin, but they never check their thyroid function. And it might just be your thyroid that needs to be adjusted as opposed to your cholesterol. So just something to think about. And lastly, I want to talk about immune function, which is extremely important. And there's a lot of emerging evidence that links thyroid hormones and the role that they may be playing in modulating your immune function. Thyroid dysfunction, specifically in autoimmune thyroid disease, such as Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, is often associated with alterations in your immune function. And that can lead to increased susceptibility to infections and autoimmune disorders. And you can check for autoimmune thyroid disease through a simple blood test by checking your antibodies. So something to consider when speaking to your doctor about really doing a comprehensive look at your thyroid. So just in summary, your thyroid gland is a really vital endocrine organ that regulates so many physiological processes throughout your body, like the ones we covered: metabolism, growth, development, temperature regulation, thyroid function, mood, reproductive function, lipid metabolism, immune function. So imbalances in these levels can really have a profound effect on your health and well-being. So it's really important to maintain normal thyroid function. And sometimes that can be done through proper nutrition, lifestyle modification, supplementation, and in other cases, medical management is necessary. So there's a lot of intricacies within the thyroid, and I'll go into further detail in other videos about autoimmune thyroid disease, thyroid tests that I think are important, different nutrients that are involved in your thyroid metabolism that you may want to check. And so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, or you can just leave your comments below and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, have a blessed day. Goodbye from me and my little Ruby.